Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Spiceworks Ziff Davis partner webinar. This session is being sponsored by Progress Software, and we'll be talking about all the details around WhatsUp Gold with Progress Flowmon. Before we get into that with Mark Towler, our expert from Progress Software, we'll go into a few reminders about our console. First off, this session is being recorded, so if you step away or miss any part of today's session, you'll get a link to view it on demand after we're done. Progress has also provided some additional information in the resources section that includes a free trial, so definitely go in there and get access to that. You can download that at any time during today's session. We invite you to submit your questions at any time using that Q&A widget on your screen. So send those in. They'll queue up on our side, and we'll get to as many of those before we finish up. We also remind you to join our attendee chat. You can bring that up using the orange icon, chat icon button there at the bottom of your screen and start a conversation with your fellow webinar attendees. Remember to keep things fun and professional throughout the session. We'll also be posting the winner of our prize contest in chat, so stay tuned for that as well. Without any further delay, I'll hand it over to Mark Towler, the product expert there at Progress.
Thank you very much, David. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Towler, and I'm very grateful you're willing to spend a little time with me today while I chat with you about advanced traffic and security analysis in WhatsUp Gold with Progress Flowmon, which is a big mouthful, I know. What this really comes down to is how can you get better network visibility and why should you care? So with that said, I'm going to jump right in. Again, feel free to ask questions. I will answer them all at the end. So let's take a look at why you care about network observability or visibility or monitoring. I'm going to be using those terms somewhat interchangeably throughout this presentation because they all kind of boil down to the same thing. It's one thing for the IT team, and we'll talk about their concerns in just a second, but why is network visibility important to the business, and what kind of challenges is the business going to face if they don't have decent network visibility? Well, the number one issue for any organization, any business, is going to be the bottom line. And if your end users, people who are using your systems, using your software, are having poor experiences, they're going to leave. And kind of a side note, they're not necessarily going to tell you why they're leaving. They're going to leave. If 1 in 50 actually sends you an email saying, this keeps crashing, or it's too slow, or I can't get anything done, that's great. You're lucky. But generally, you're going to see people leaving, and you're going to be going, why are they leaving? And the answer may be they're having a poor experience. And you're not going to know if you don't have visibility. That's part of the problem. The worst part is you're not going to know why they're having a poor experience without some form of network visibility. So that's crucial. And that's really what, at the end of the day, if someone's asking you to justify your existence or why you're doing it, it's like, this is the answer. If we don't provide a good experience, customers will leave. Okay. The other piece is this is not just a problem for customers. If you are having poor quality or poor network visibility for your internal systems, and don't forget your internal people use the external systems as well, you're seeing a big drop in productivity and a big increase in wasted time. If every time someone wants to, upload something to your system or uses one of your systems or one of your web pages to perform a task, and it takes an extra 30 seconds while they wait there and watching that little wheel spin, that's wasted time. They could be doing something else. They're going to have to sit there and babysit it to make sure it went through. But you've got that going on, 5, 10, 20 times a day multiplied by the number of people in your organization. That's a big attrition of time and a big loss of productivity. And again, similar level of frustration. The difference is these people aren't going to leave because it's their job. So that's something, again, that your managers and the CEO, even at that level, is going to be concerned about. And that's another reason why you want better network visibility. And finally, this is really impacting the business as a whole because it's preventing the business from looking forward. All right. You're being reactive rather than proactive. You are too busy trying to fix the issues you've got right now to be able to look forward and see where you want to take the business, where you want to grow it, what new areas you want to pursue, how you want to improve the network, how you want to improve the solution or the service or the software that you're bringing to the end users. Instead, you're doing nothing but trying to track down problems, all right? And you can't look ahead. So all of these are things that everyone in the organization is going to care about. And really, what it comes right down to it is, what is a network monitoring challenge in the first place? It boils down to something as simple as this. There is a problem. Someone is having a poor experience. It might be slow application, might be something else, and they're going to complain, or it might be an alert, or it might be something you're able to figure out some other way. The question that arises is, where is that problem? Is it the network? Is it the server or some other piece of hardware or infrastructure? Or, and this is completely legitimate, is it the user? As we all know, users make mistakes and users don't read. There is no one here who has made the mistake, who hasn't made the mistake of saying, putting somewhere into an application, hit any key to continue, and you get 3 tickets the next day from a user going, I can't find my any key. I know it's a joke, I know it's a cliche, it still happens. So they're not reading. It could be a problem with the user, could be a problem with the network, could be a problem with the server. How are you going to know? If you can't find the problem, you can't fix it. And that is why you need some form of network visibility or observability. So whose responsibility is this? It's the IT team, of course. Their job is to keep the network up and operating and make sure these sort of things don't happen. So they've got a lot on their plate. Any IT operator or any IT team is going to be dealing with troubleshooting, like we're just describing, but also maintaining those critical applications. They're going to be looking for root cause analysis for any issues. They've got to make sure the cloud services are connected. They've got to analyze network traffic. They've got to, at all times, maintain a high level of network security. And that can be a full-time job in itself, just keeping everything patched, keeping everything secure, making sure that you don't have any potential openings or bugs or problems where someone can get in. And all of this at the bottom line is being measured by their mean time to resolution, or MTTR. So if you are operating a network and you are trying to develop it and make it better, but at the same time you're dealing with all of these other issues and trying to hunt down network problems and challenges, all of it will be being measured by that MTTR number that keeps getting higher and higher, and you need to get it lower and lower and lower. You've got a challenge. And that's where you need to look at a better way to understand what's going on in your network and how you can fix it. Um, and just a note here, it's kind of metaphorical, but this image I've got here, I kind of lucked into it, but here we've got someone looking at 6 screens, 6 different sets of data. This is actually part of the challenge. The more tools and the more devices and the more systems that an IT operator has to use in order to find a problem and fix it, the worse that MTTR is going to get. This isn't conjecture. It isn't just me stating this. It's a fact. We have analyst reports proving this. So this is a good example of why you need some form of complete network coverage in order to ensure a smooth network operation. And ideally, you need it all out of one, at most, 2 different applications. Okay. So let's take a look at how we get there. You need that complete network visibility coverage. You've got to be able to see everything in your network. You've got to be able to see what it's doing. You've got to be able to see if it's performing properly, and you've got to ensure that it's secure at all times, right? We just covered that. How do we do this? Well, one piece of it is infrastructure monitoring. Every single device attached to your network, and when I use device, I'm talking physical and virtual as well. So your virtual environment, your cloud resources, anything that software runs on is some form of infrastructure. It's a nebulous term, but that's the core. You've got to understand that first. If your server's on fire, doesn't matter whether or not the software is working. You got to fix that first. You also need some way of monitoring the performance of that infrastructure and the software running across it, and being able to diagnose any issues with it. All right, so that needs to be worked in there as well. And then finally, you've got to keep an eye on network security, and you need some form of network capability that will let you know if there are potential breaches, or if there are issues, or if there's anomalous behavior, or if you've got ransomware, or any of a number of other issues. What we've done is we've put together a solution that meets all of these criteria in order to give you that complete network visibility coverage. All right. We've got an infrastructure monitoring solution called Progress WhatsUp Gold. It does exactly what the name says. It'll tell you what's up and what's down. It will find and display every single thing connected to your network and show you the status of it, so you can keep in mind, keep an eye on what's going on, and it'll alert you if there's a problem. The big piece of it, though, is that it's got this unique interactive mapping system and alerting system that makes it very easy to feed in information from other applications like Progress Flowmon. Progress Flowmon, and I'm going to get into a bit more detail on these in just a second, is this really powerful NetFlow and IPFix based network monitoring solution. It will actually look at the individual flows, give you really detailed traffic analysis capabilities, and really give you the ability to troubleshoot and forensically analyze what's going on with your applications. And it's got an alerting system as well. And then another piece of Flowmon is its network security capabilities. It's got an AI-driven behavior analysis engine, which makes it really easy for it to find insider threats, outsider threats, unknown threats, ransomware, just unusual behavior that it can alert you of to prevent and to detect network breaches and to respond to them. It can even also do encrypted traffic analysis. So by putting them all together in one piece and one solution, we're able to get you that complete network visibility coverage. Now, I want to make it clear, at the moment, these are two separate solutions, but we are displaying them together and we have put them together. So to give you an idea of where these come from, because they're kind of developed for two different main purposes. WhatsUp Gold is very much a infrastructure availability diagnosis and performance tool. It is what you use to make sure, as I said, everything's up or everything's down or what isn't, and to see your network at a glance. If you can see that one image there, a screenshot, that's your network map. It generates that automatically. So at a glance, you can see something's red, it's down, all right? The dashboards are easy, they're drag and drop. You can drill in on almost anything. And it's got this incredibly robust alerting system that can let you know via email or text or flash it up on the web or let you know via Slack or Microsoft Teams if there's an issue, if you need to alert the entire team rather than just one individual. It's the core of this solution that I'm describing today. What we've done is added Flowmon capabilities to this. And Flowmon was developed specifically as a flow-based network traffic analysis tool. And that capabilities allowed them to add a lot of performance monitoring capabilities and a lot of threat detection and response capabilities. All together, what they're doing is giving you a combined network and security operations tool that lets you keep an eye on that end user experience, which again, we know that's the all important thing. If the end users aren't happy, they're going to leave and you're going to lose money. All right. It'll help you with things like troubleshooting and forensics. It will detect all those threats I mentioned earlier, including things like ransomware. And all together, what it's doing is putting that into one nice, neat package, which we've then ported into WhatsUp Gold. So what do you get with the two combined? The green box in the upper left is WhatsUp Gold. That's your main interface, all right? The Flowmon interface still exists, but for this purposes of this solution, you don't necessarily need to touch it. WhatsUp Gold monitors that entire group of things underneath it in the box, the green box. Everything from the CPU to the routers, to the cloud logs, to configuration management, virtual monitor. It's very comprehensive. It's vendor agnostic. It's designed to find whatever is plugged into your network and tell you everything it can about it. Flowmon is a bit more on the right side. It's kind of that blue box. And you'll notice there's an overlap there. I'm not sure how well the colors are coming out, but it's built around looking at your firewall, looking at your routers, your switches, looking at Cloudflow logs, looking at traffic. All right. As well, they're able to look for malware, ransomware, detect any anomalies, look for insider threats, outsider threats, even do encrypted traffic. It generates its own set of dashboards, or sorry, I should say it generates its own set of data, which we are able to port into the WhatsUp Gold interface. So again, look at that big green box in the upper left. You've got a whole series of WhatsUp Gold dashboards that were always in there. If you're a WhatsUp Gold user, you're familiar with them. But we've added a traffic analysis dashboard and a security dashboard that give you access from within WhatsUp Gold, same interface, same application, to all of those great Flowmon capabilities. So we're really boosting the ability of WhatsUp Gold to monitor not just your network infrastructure, but also the performance of your traffic and traffic flow analysis and security threat detection. So what are the benefits you get out of this? Well, you're monitoring everything connected to your network, and that's key. You can see what's going on. The interface is intuitive. You have a good understanding of exactly what is going on in the network at any given moment and in context. And that's a really important part I'm going to harp on for just a second. Remember that picture we had earlier of the network operator looking at 6 different screens? If you're just using something like, say, Aruba Connect or Open Connect, I can't remember what their software is called, it will tell you everything you could possibly want to know about Aruba products and only Aruba products. The entire point of this solution is that it can see anything, no matter who makes it, no matter what it does, no matter what its role, it all shows up on that big network map and it can all be monitored. Combined with Flowmon, you can monitor not just the up and down status of that infrastructure, but the availability of the software on that infrastructure, how it's being used, the capacity. You can see performance degradation quickly. You can find those bottlenecks. You can analyze the errors, and you can troubleshoot very quickly. You're also getting the security capabilities that let you bridge the gap between endpoint and perimeter and find those ransomware issues, those zero-day threats. You can analyze encrypted traffic, and you can keep your environment secure. And again, you've got an alerting system that will let you know when something happens. And with Flowmon, there are a number of automated responses that can be done. If you're, for example, finding some form of insider threat or anomalous behavior, you can set that to automatically shut that down or change it in some way or restrict access, or there's a number of different ways to do it depending on the issue. Altogether, what you have is a combined tool that will alert IT teams to network issues and proactively help them to find and fix problems fast. And I'm going to harp really hard, I'm going to lean really hard on that word proactively, because remember we saw that earlier slide where it's like, oh, user raises an issue or complains about slow speed. You're already in trouble. Because like I said, that's the 50th user. He's just the only one who bothered to complain. All right, everyone else has been suffering. If you can fix these problems before they impact your end users, that is the holy grail of IT. And that's not something we made up. That's not a marketing phrase. That's one of our customers who actually said that to us. It's like, I don't get woken up in the middle of the night because I can fix the problems before the user notices. Every IT guy's worst nightmare is a crowd of angry users with pitchforks and torches pounding on his office door going, why has this system been down for 3 hours? And you didn't even know it was down. If you fix it, they don't even know. It is wonderful. You don't even have to talk to people, which I know is also the holy grail of some of our IT people as well. So you've heard me gabbing about it enough. Let's take a look at it in action. I've got a little demo here. If you miss it or you want to see it again, it's online at whatsupgold.com/Flowmon. That link works. Feel free to go ahead and click on it now. It will open up a page that will also give you a lot more information about this integration. But I'm going to jump right into this demonstration. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes, and then after that, we'll go into some questions.
An easy and effective way to troubleshoot network issues reported by WhatsUp Gold is to analyze the network traffic data reported by Flowmon. Under Analyze, you will find a new dashboard called Flowmon, and it will show you the Flowmon dashboard as well as the Flowmon events report. The Flowmon dashboard is pulling data directly, or it's presenting data that's pulled directly from Progress Flowmon. So instead of having to juggle between two interfaces, you can see data from both the network monitoring side as well as the packet analysis, the network traffic analysis side into one interface. And so this dashboard is presenting that data from Flowmon directly. And so here under the network operations tab, you will see network specific patterns like traffic, response times, retransmission rates, and so on. It will show you this type of data in this particular view. Under the security operations section, it will show you events by methods or events by severity. You will see different method types like diffcom, scans, and so on. So these are basically different types of behavior patterns that the traffic analysis tool is picking up, like diverse communications with multiple IP addresses, maybe communications with specific types of countries. And you will notice also that these events are assigned severity levels like critical, high, medium, and low. And so this particular report will track these events and severity by their numbers and graph this for you. Again, this is data that is being pulled directly from Flowmon. To take a look at the actual events, you will go to the Flowmon events report, select the Flowmon source, and for whatever time date range you select, it will show you all of the events that have been recorded for that period. And so you will see them by severity, and then you'll see them by methods. At the top, you will see a nice uh, pie chart that makes it very convenient to, for example, filter all of the critical events. And here I can see all of the critical events that have been recorded. I can turn that off by clicking critical, and then jump over to the events by method pie chart, where I can filter by any specific method that I want. I can look at country, I can look at high transmissions, I can look at DivCom, multiple IP addresses, so on. So it's that easy to see this data from within the WhatsUp Gold web interface that's being pulled directly from our Flowmon software.
And there we go. I promised that was going to be a short demo. Again, if you want to take a look at that demo again, or if you'd like to read a little bit more about Flowmon and WhatsUp Gold and how they integrate, there's a lot of information on specific features and capabilities on this page. There is a more detailed page at whatsupgold.com/Flowmon. You'll also find a link to the solution datasheet, which I believe is also available here online. You can find that in our resources that you can download right now. If you'd like to try a free trial of WhatsUp Gold, you can get that at whatsupgold.com/trial, or just go to whatsupgold.com. There's a big free trial button at the top of every single page. It's free. Download it, give it a shot. It installs itself. It will find your network. It will show you everything, and it will give you that whole surround that we just talked about that Flowmon can integrate into. And with that said, I don't want to be wasting too much of your time. We want some time left for questions. So if you have any questions, now's a great time to enter them into the question manager, and then give us a second or two to take a look at those, and then I'll start answering them for you.
Thanks, Mark. And while we're waiting for some questions to additional questions to come in, just a reminder that we do have those resources available. The information you see in the slide is also shown there in resources, so take a look at those. One question that did come in, Mark, was, are the products, WhatsUp Gold and Flowmon, sold separately?
That is not only an excellent question, but I am so glad that someone asked it, because it gives us a chance to brag a little bit on our side. I know this is kind of highlighting a cool solution, but I got to tell you, the whole rationale here and the whole concept of Flowmon being a part of Progress is relatively recent. It was only really last fall that Progress acquired Kemp, the parent company of Flowmon, and within a very, very, very short time, we were able to integrate these Flowmon capabilities, which I honestly think is a feather in the cap of our engineering team. We weren't even really legally allowed to talk to them until September, and by February, we had a solution that was out and available and released to customers. So yay for us, number one. And then I'll stop patting myself on the back and tell you, yeah, these are still two separate products at the moment. We have integrated the products, the sales teams, and the rest of the back end, not quite so much. The good news is we do have a full system for on the back end that has the salespeople and our partners prepared to sell this joint solution together. You will be purchasing them as separate solutions, because each one kind of does something slightly different, even though they do integrate. WhatsUp Gold is going to be sold mostly based on what your requirements are for infrastructure monitoring, whereas Flowmon is much more oriented towards what kind of flows and how many of them you want to monitor. So it's not always a one-size-fits-all proposition. Regardless, you will be looking at two separate solutions, and right now the way they're purchased is through two separate organizations. But reach out to anyone either on the Flowmon side. There's a flowmon.com webpage, or on the whatsupgold.com side. And in either case, they'll be more than happy to help provide the entire solution to you together. So you're not going and building this together. We have people who will be more than happy to sit down with you, do a proof of concept, determine exactly what your needs are, and give you exactly the type of WhatsUp Gold implementation and the type of Flowmon implementation that you need, and help you put them together. So you will be looking at one complete solution all within a WhatsUp Gold interface, but right now they are going to be combined.
All right, thank you, Mark. It looks like a question came in from Gary, and he asks, how does this work with companies that have multiple Class C networks?
That's a perfect example of what I was just talking about, where it's not, neither one of these products is a one-size-fits-all solution. I will say WhatsUp Gold is available as a distributed edition, and what that means is that you're able to use it to monitor multiple different networks that may, but all through one single console. So if you do have multiple networks, it is completely possible for WhatsUp Gold to monitor them and treat them all as one network being monitored, or as individual separate networks, however you'd like. There may also be an option to simply use a polar-based solution, where if it's a distributed issue, or you've just you're looking at long lag times as opposed to completely separate networks, we may have the ability to solve that problem with some scalability polars that simply make it a bit more feasible for WhatsUp Gold to monitor everything in one place. Depending on where your flows are coming from and where you want to monitor them, Flowmon might have a slightly different configuration. But short answer, too late, I know, but short answer is yes, absolutely, that is not a problem.
All right. I know someone asked, you've already touched on this, how do I try out this integrated solution? So just point them to the trial, or is there any other information
Yeah,
there,
well,
Mark, about
let
that
me
question?
give you let me give you a bit more on that one, because ideally we would love you to talk to us, and we will be happy to, because like I said, it can be very complicated. We would love you to talk to us, and we'd be very happy to walk you through specifically what you need from both WhatsUp Gold and Flowmon. But you're also more than welcome to give this a shot yourself. The latest version of WhatsUp Gold, which came out in February, is absolutely capable of integrating with Flowmon. It doesn't need anything else. You can download, and that's in the free trial. The free trial is a fully loaded version of WhatsUp Gold. Every single feature, every single capability, with I think support for up to 20,000 devices. Regardless, you can download that's the free trial. And you can also download a free trial of Flowmon. Now, your challenge is going to be putting them together. And on that page there that I listed, whatsupgold.com/Flowmon, there's instructions there. There's a link to a knowledge base article that outlines how to integrate the two of them. It's not tremendously difficult. It's like a 12-step process. It's basically telling WhatsUp Gold where to find Flowmon, giving WhatsUp Gold the Flowmon credentials so it can start integrating that Flowmon data. It's not hard. However, you do need to have Flowmon set up. So right now, you're going to be, if you do this on your own, you're going to be setting up WhatsUp Gold on your own, which is actually really, really easy. And you're going to be setting up Flowmon on your own, which can be easy. It can be a little bit more complex. That's kind of on the Flowmon side. You can check that out. We have a knowledge base article that's telling you how to put them together. We are currently working on a more comprehensive installation guide that will walk you through the process I just described. Download the evaluation or a free trial, or download a full copy of WhatsUp Gold, and then download Flowmon. Here's how to set them both up, and then here's how to integrate them. It's just a little bit more comprehensive. So short answer, yeah, absolutely. There are free trials for both these products. Go ahead and try and put them together. I just want to make it clear, if you're getting frustrated, please feel free to call us. There's no obligation. We'll happily walk you through it, and we'd much rather have you get some help than spend 3 hours tearing out your hair trying to figure out how to do it. It can be done. It's not super complicated, but helps just a phone call away. And just to note, we do provide phone support, including for free trials. So you don't have to be a customer to call us up and ask a question about WhatsUp Gold and how to integrate it with Flowmon.
All right. Anything else, Mark? I think
I'm just
one
seeing
other
this one.
question came in.
Sorry, I'm seeing the one here from Gary. If you don't mind, I'm going to answer that one. Gary's asking, do these programs play well with anti-malware software that also checks for suspicious activity? It's going to depend on how that anti-malware software is operating. Generally, yes, you may be getting two alerts on the same issue. There shouldn't be any real interference. Occasionally, you run into situations where the anti-malware or antivirus software is self-identified, potentially as virus or malware software by the other antivirus or anti-malware tool. That shouldn't really be an issue, and if it is, it's something that's easy to fix. But absolutely, there's no reason you couldn't have both of them going. I think you'll find in most cases the anti-malware and anomalous behavior detection in Flowmon is going to be a little bit more comprehensive and a little bit more powerful. It is AI driven. It's fairly sophisticated. It's not just checking, suspicious behavior against a list. So it's likely to be more comprehensive, but it's very much a belt and suspenders sort of approach. If you want to have multiple systems going, by all means, but just like on a desktop system, just be aware of how much load you're putting on your processors. So that's that's up to you to determine how careful you want to check and how much you want to be dealing with. And we're coming up on 30 minutes, so I'll leave it to you, David, if you want to wrap things. But I don't know if we have any other questions coming in at this point.
Thank you, Mark. I think that's about it on questions, and we appreciate everyone getting those over to Mark. Obviously, we continue the conversation with Mark and team, and reach out. A lot of great information here, a lot of great links. So we invite everyone to take advantage of that. So with that, I want to thank Mark for going through all of that great information and presenting the demo. And special thanks to Progress Software for making this webinar possible. I want to thank everyone for spending part of their day with us today. Look forward to another partner webinar with all of you soon. Reminder that we are posting the winner of our contest in the attendee chat, so congrats to our winner. We'll be in touch with you in the community. With that, have a great day, and until the next session, stay safe and keep it spicy. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.